Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy MonsterCast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy MonsterCast, the Legion of Liberty plan their assault on the home base of the Order of the Seventh Circle. Previously on the Happy MonsterCast, the Continental Army has formed the Legion of Liberty, a unit of superhumans fighting for freedom from the British Crown. Elijah Allen, Master of Mind Control, Artemis Crow, Invisible Assassin, Petanoat, the Wampanoag Swamp Monster, Clara Washington, Super Soldier, and Victoria Spellman, the Human Cannon. John Adams has assigned the Legion their most difficult mission yet, rescuing George Washington himself from the clutches of the Order of the Seventh Circle. So, you are still in London, and you've received a message from John Adams with very bad news. George Washington has been replaced by a shapeshifter.
Uh-oh.
And he is being held hostage by the Order of the Seventh Circle in London. But lucky for the revolution, you're in London too.
Aha! Serendipity.
And even luckier, notorious Culper Ring agent 355 has determined that he is being held at the London Hellfire Club. They've determined that the Seventh Circle guys are using the network of Hellfire clubs across the British colonies and Britain itself as a headquarters for their nefarious activities. And so step one is figuring out where the heck the Hellfire Club in London is. And I would like you all to start by making common knowledge rolls, please.
Okay. It's still loading my page, so I'm going to ask you, Scott, to roll for me because it's still going.
Not a problem.
Cool. Come on, Foundry, come on.
So if I click on, oh my god, how many times did I roll common knowledge?
Not any yet. You have to click on the roll button.
I did. I have to click harder.
Interesting.
It looks like okay. So Clara, you actually got the best result with a 15. So you've heard rumors in the pubs about this Hellfire Club. It's supposedly a playground for the upper classes with all sorts of debauchery and sin to be had. And further, you've heard that it's housed in an inn called the Georgian Vulture. And that the inn itself is in the London parish of Shoreditch, which is this area right up here. Shoreditch is a very, very rough neighborhood. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of vice. There's a lot of theaters, which it's bad news if there's a lot of theaters.
Okay.
Not to mention bawdy houses, textile mills, and furniture manufacturing. Not sure what those last two have to do with crime, but whatever. So because this is such a rough neighborhood, and perhaps that's why the Hellfire Club was located in here in the first place, you've also heard that the upper class nobility who visit there tend to go there in disguise. So how would you like to approach this?
So we know that it's in that area, but do we have a specific location, like which inn it is?
It's the Georgian Vulture.
Oh, right, of course. So,
Yeah,
you
so
said
it will not.
confined.
It should not be hard to find. I mean, if you look at this, London is not huge in this era.
Well, we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in hot on this one.
What's that?
We're gonna go in hot on this one, or are we gonna try to stealth our way?
Well, that's a good question.
I'm guessing.
Well, not costume, but disguise. Yeah.
Because if this is an upper class place where they go for debauchery, it's probably going to be pretty well guarded. And it might be tough just to go blasting our way in.
Also, what you've heard as far as the disguise goes is that basically they disguise themselves as commoners.
Oh, well, that should be hard for us.
It's not a bad
Yeah, I
idea.
can.
Having scout.
Yeah.
All right, so let's send Artemis.
Right. And so my plan is to go hang out by the door and see if, as you say, if there's a secret password or a secret handshake, or if you have to tip the doorman a certain amount or something.
Always tip your doorman. That's very important.
Always.
Right. Right. But you have to tip the doorman like exactly 7 pence or something. Anything else, and they know that you're just a poser.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Foundry's running a little slow for me too, but hopefully we'll get loaded here momentarily. And you can just make out the words George and Vulture painted on it. A man swathed in a long cloak and a workman's leather tricorn enters the tavern, but you notice gold buckles on his shoes and silk stockings on his legs as he steps through the door.
Bad cosplay.
Yep. Might as well be wearing a digital watch.
It's the details that really sell it, buddy. Come on now. Okay, so that's actually a good detail to note, so that when we come in, that sort of the little touch of bad cosplay might really sell it as being part of the nitwit upper class.
Yeah, it looks like Bob and Frank. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got Frank. Looks like Bob is still stuck on the map of London.
Yeah, I'm double clicking Hellfire and it doesn't want to pop my little circle.
Yeah, give it a minute. It'll probably pop over there.
Cool.
Okay, so you watch for a while, and it just seems like people are coming and going through the double doors there.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna wait for a sort of break in the traffic. I guess I should. I'm assuming that I'm going to be invisible here. I didn't specify that, but
okay, yeah, go ahead and make the roll.
But maybe I should have. All right.
Oh no, this is a +2. This will have a +2 because you were.
I was concentrating ahead of time.
Yeah, so that's good enough. You're invisible.
Okay. So being invisible, I'm going to move myself through the double doors.
Yeah, so you just basically find a time when somebody's going through and you go in as well.
Right.
Okay, so now you're in like a tavern space. There's a bunch of civilians hanging around here, and this seems to be mostly devoted to drinking. There is a staircase leading up, as well as a door behind the bar where you can, that presumably has a storeroom or similar. And there's a fireplace on one side. You can see there's a guy sitting in one of the wingback chairs there. It seems to be a bunch of guys sitting around drinking right now.
Okay, no big debauchery or anything.
Not at this point, no. Although you do see occasionally, as you kind of hang out invisibly and watch, you do see people coming and going up and down the stairs a bit. And at one point, the barman goes into the back room, and you at least get a glimpse of what looks like a kitchen and some storage back there.
Right. I'm gonna go up the stairs.
Okay. I don't have this one set up to teleport for you, I don't think. So here you are on the second floor.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
So you emerge on the stairs here.
Anything untoward? Anybody? Oops, I guess I should.
You can hear some noises that might be indicative of debauchery.
Different.
Oh my.
Well,
How noisy
all right.
is it? This place.
It's pretty noisy.
Okay. Kind of like a crowded tavern, kind of noisy, like people
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
and slamming
people talking.
tankards down.
But also some bed springs squeaking and associated noise. And
Okay.
make a notice roll.
I'm guessing I'm not there.
No, this is the recon phase at this point.
Aw.
So I have a question about the notice roll. Given the fact that I'm invisible and that will allow me to sort of lean in and really, put my ear up against the door, is there a modifier on this or just straight notice?
No, because you don't know which door to listen against yet. So it's just a straight notice at this point. If you were leaning up against the door, then you'd have a modifier. But that's good enough. You also hear a faint rattling of chains coming from this general area.
Okay. As I look down the hallway leading to that general area, is it a wide hallway, narrow hallway?
Now you can see it. Narrow hallway with a door at one end. And you can see
down to that door.
Okay.
And now listen again to that door.
You don't actually hear anything from the door. It almost sounds like it's coming through the wall right here, that you hear some faint voices and the chains rattling again.
Huh. Okay, I check the wall. Is there a secret door or a secret panel or anything?
Make another notice roll. You are pretty confident that there is not.
What kind of a door is this? Just a regular door, or does it seem out?
Seems like a pretty regular door.
Okay, listening at the door, do I hear any other voices behind it? Any talking or anything?
No.
I will carefully try to open the door.
Okay, you can open the door.
And so presumably to anybody on the inside, it would look like the door just kind of, eased itself open. I come in.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So you're now in this room here, and you don't actually see anyone in the room, but you do see another door here.
They're gonna walk on people going at it, right?
That's not out of the question.
Well, hey, debauchery means they sell tickets for this kind of thing. So I'm going to go over to the other and listen
Okay,
to it.
so you hear a conversation. You hear kind of more of a monologue, really, of an upper crust British sounding gentleman talking, saying things like, "It doesn't matter how much you struggle, dear. Those chains are keeping you in place, and at my convenience, I shall have my way with you."
Okay, this could still be George Washington, but
there is a keyhole.
All right, I will peek through the keyhole.
You peer through the keyhole, and you can see a woman chained to a post that is pretty clearly not George Washington.
Oh dear.
Okay. Cute. All right. All right. I guess I will exit the same way I came in. I don't really need to interrupt their playtime in there. Let me come down to this part of the hallway and then come down to here.
Okay.
Continue.
You hear some more bed springs squeaking kinds of things going on there, which seem to be coming from this general vicinity.
All right. Anything at the door that I'm listening to right now?
No.
Okay. Then I will go down to the end of the hallway, this door, and whoops, I didn't mean to go all the way through. Not there yet. Listen to that door.
You hear snoring.
Man or woman? Or can I tell?
It's low pitched, although it depends on the woman, I guess.
All right. I'm assuming that if somebody is snoring in a house of debauchery, they are done with their debauch for the moment. And I'm going to go in.
Okay. There is a rather portly gentleman tucked in under the covers, snoring away.
Do I recognize him?
You do not. You also see a wig sitting on the chest right next to you, and some clothes piled up on the table here.
I will quietly do a quick inspection for papers or identification or anything to indicate, give a sense of why this guy decided to come all the way to a house of debauchery to take a nap.
So you go ahead and make a stealth roll to make sure you don't wake him up. Give yourself a +2 though, because you're invisible and he's asleep.
All right, +2 on stealth.
Yeah, he's not. He's dead to the world here. So you kind of sneak over and rifle through his stuff, and there is a crest on a calling card case in the pocket of his coat. Make a common knowledge roll at -2 to recognize the crest.
Okay. That's good. That's pretty good.
You just happen to have run up against this one before. This is the Earl of Mornington, apparently.
Huh. Am I aware of any connection between the Earl of Mornington and the supers or plot to kidnap Washington?
You are not.
Well, shoot, this is not as productive as I hoped. All right, I'm going to leave the good Earl to his nap, then go back down the hall to the other doors. And I'm going to listen at each of these doors. I guess I need to open that door.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen at each of these doors and see if I hear anything in there.
Well, the first door seems to be the source of the bed squeaking and associated noises.
It's possible that George Washington is entertaining someone at the moment, but I'm going to say not likely, given the fact that he's George Washington. What about the other doors?
Don't hear anything from either of the other doors.
Unfortunately, at this point in the game, we lost audio for a bit. Artemis continued his invisible reconnaissance of the Georgian Vulture and eventually discovered a secret door disguised as an ale cask in the basement. He left a window propped open in the storeroom to provide access for the rest of the squad, then returned to report.
Okay, so all right, so you go back. You inform them. You've got the layout of the inn. What's your plan?
Okay, so if we can, we're going to try to rappel up the window he unlatched.
Okay, you absolutely
conspicuously.
Well, it's ground floor, so you can definitely get in that way.
Okay.
So you guys carefully make your way into the storeroom. I would like stealth rolls from all of you because it's not out of the question that you could be heard going through. Where you don't have any wounds.
Let's see, where is it? Yeah. Oops. Work.
I'm not waiting long enough for to show up in the chat.
Yep, so far so good. Even Pet Know It
I
makes
can't tell if I've rolled yet.
That doesn't look
There's
like you
this
have.
weird lag. Okay.
Purely accidental on my part, I assure you.
Rolls all around.
There it is. Yeah, good rolls all around. So you're in there, and you're pretty sure you have not been noticed.
Oh, wrong skill. Yep. Sorry.
And we would have took note of Brandon's like clothing that he had seen, so we could match. We end up getting busted, we'll at least look the part. So we want to go be somewhat
Right. Then that, yeah. So we'll end up looking like we're just wandering around a long place looking for the bathroom or something.
Yep.
Can I suggest before we go downstairs that we wedge the shove a wedge in the door to the kitchen so that it can't be opened?
Oh, good call.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay.
How quickly is that going to be noticed? Are people coming back and forth to the kitchen all the time to serve stuff?
The kitchen, yes, but not the storeroom.
Fair enough.
So it might be noticed. It might not. It's a gamble.
Sounds fine.
I'm just thinking that if we start a fight and have to fight our way out, we want to be able to block them from sending any reinforcements down the stairs at us.
And we don't want to be pinched down there for sure.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
So here we are, guys, and here's the secret barrel.
Yep.
Okay. Knock on it. Open sesame.
So how are you going to do this? How are you going in?
Want to lead Artemis?
Yeah. Do you want me to go down and see if I can just take the guy out quietly, garrote him?
Yeah, let's have you go significantly further than us in visible stealth. And, take out anyone if you can if they're alone. If not, you can come back and warn us what we're going to walk into.
Okay, sounds good. So Scott, I will open the barrel and go proceed in, like say up to the first set of doors, listening.
Okay. All right. So the first set of doors, one of them is open. You can definitely hear a conversation coming from here. So you can see into this room, and it appears to be a weapons storage and training room. And you hear some kind of thumping sounds from the room below.
There's a room below in this tunnel?
No, not below, just in on the map below.
Oh,
okay.
The south, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one with the closed door.
So what did you say? There's some thumping in there?
Yeah.
And this is different than the bed spring squeaking.
It sounds like somebody hitting something with something.
I'm going to assume that's training. If this is a weapons room, this one might be like a gym or a workout room. Could be a torture chamber too, but let's hold off on that. Continuing on down the hall.
All right. Where are the rest of you while he's doing this? Are you where you want to be as far as your positions in the?
Let's stay in and close it behind us, but let's just stay like barely in. Like, wait, you're.
I actually wouldn't mind starting to go down.
Okay, so half of the where we are right now is behind all of the rolly stuff. Is there a way for me to just move the image to the left?
Yeah, right click and drag it.
Why did that never work before? Okay. Wow. Awesome.
Okay, so Elijah's in. Where's everybody else?
I'm going down.
So you're going in as well?
Yep.
So just put yourself where you want to be.
Yep, I'm gonna hop in too.
Do I right click and grab myself and go, or
No,
how am I?
that work. Left click, or you can you can click on yourself and move around with the arrow keys. That works too.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm lagging, so I can't see them actually doing anything until a few seconds after I thought I failed.
Okay, so you're all piling in here. Okay, Artemis, you see two guys having a conversation looking over a map of the world in this room. And there's another guy down here who seems to be cleaning weapons. And I'm going to give them a chance to notice you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, nope, they sure don't.
Okay, so I come back and I say to Jung Soo,
Presumably very quietly because you're right on top of these guys.
very, very quietly, and none of my friends are startled to feel an invisible hand like on their shoulder or the warm breath on their cheek as I lean in close to their ear.
No, none of us are startled.
None of you are startled. Just another day at the office as we practice this.
No, it's just another Wednesday.
And I quietly, in a professional manner, not in a loving manner, whisper in your ears. So, the two guys that are up here and the one person that's down here through these doorways to warn you off of just like strolling past.
Okay.
Right. And then presumably you'll do like visible hand motions to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can all hear the thumping coming from here as well.
Right. So I'm going to continue down the hallway to the next set of doors.
Okay. Make a notice roll. You are on fire tonight. Wow. So as you're you see into this room, and there doesn't appear to be anybody in there. Up on the room up to the north, the room to the south, you very faintly hear a sound, and after a moment, you realize that it is the sound of a pen scratching on parchment.
Okay. So again, I'm going to hold that off because that could be an officer writing a report. It could be George Washington, or it could be somebody else. Next set of doors.
Okay. I need a notice roll again.
Come on, dice. Yeah, I want them all.
You don't hear anything from either door.
I'm going to go down to the last door and listen.
Okay. You definitely hear voices. Make a notice roll to see if you can make them out. You can.
That's better.
So there's a conversation happening in this room, and you immediately with that roll, you immediately recognize that one of the voices is George Washington.
Nice. Okay.
And the other voice, the accent is really strange. You can't really place it because it sort of sounds like upper class British, but it also sort of sounds colonial, but it doesn't really fit either. And there's some strange use of vowels in particular that you're just not, it doesn't sound French. Doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard before. And this guy seems to be basically berating Washington and taunting him about the fact that their saboteur, who has replaced him, is going to make sure that the colonists lose even more battles than Washington himself lost. Because as you know, in 1776, Washington's track record was pretty bad. He lost a lot of battles. So basically this guy's just messing with him.
Okay. So I stealthily go back down the hall and communicate all of this again in a very professional whisper in Jung Soo's ear. and then, look to the sergeant for instructions. I mean, I think if we, we can certainly go down and try to kick down the door down there, but I don't know what's behind some of these other doors. We're probably looking at 1, 2,
Right.
3, 4, maybe 8 or 10 guys that we're going to have to fight.
At least 5 definitively, because you've got the 3 that you saw. There's at least 1 in here making thumping noises, and there's at least 1 in here pen scratching. Plus, plus whoever's in here. So at least 6 plus Washington. And there could be there could be people in these 2 rooms because you screwed up your roll.
Right.
We should silently advance down the hall and then try to keep this as quiet as possible. You can go in and try to.
Now, how are we sneaking past the open doors where there are people hanging out?
Oh,
excellent question.
Open. They're open.
Question.
Yeah, those 2 doors are open and there are people in there.
Okay.
Armed people. Right. In fact, this room is full of weapons.
Okay.
Be a simultaneous thing then. Artemis should go.
That's good to know, right?
And Artemis should go in advance and try to engage with the guy that's dealing with Washington as quick as possible, while we will kind of attack these doors here, or at least advance and neutralizing threats. Get the ready for any of the other doors down the hallway as well.
Okay, so you're going to start with the thumping guy or the 2 open doors?
Don't blow this place up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you want me to go sort of outside the barrel so that I can murder hole people as they're trying to come out like a bottleneck?
No, we don't want to.
I'm thinking if I move like
trap ourselves in a fire down here.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying if I get out of the barrel, so if I go to the west of it and stay like over here, like, do you want me to murder hole people as they're like trying to sneak out over here? Like, if we're being chased, do you want me to just murder hole people?
Don't blow them up. Like, if you have to blow them up, then no. But you can shoot them, or if you have some other power that doesn't set anything aflame, that would be helpful.
Okay. So both.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, you can do that for sure.
Got it.
And so I'm gonna engage the door on the end of the hallway and try to do this like stealthily, like, oh, the door just opened by itself type deal.
Okay.
As soon as things go south in my room, then, or if the soldiers start popping out of the hallways to see what the heck is going on, then it kicks off for real.
Okay. Before it kicks off, Pet Know It and Clara, do you want to activate powers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's
because if you concentrate for a bit, then and roll, then you can have the power active going in.
Okay, so we heard people training.
Yes. Or something. You heard thumping sounds.
Okay. Was that the only place?
So this right here.
What I'm thinking is, what I want to do is I want to make a bottle. I think what I want to do is go like here.
You will be potentially seen when you do that. Because these 2 doors
open.
Yeah. Even there, you're potentially in a line of sight for one of the guys who's just inside the door.
Can you guard these 2 doors right next to us?
Clara is as far forward as you can get definitely without being seen.
I'm gonna be behind Clara.
What I'm thinking is I wanna swamp thing out, and then get to a point where if people want to get to Washington, they're going to have to get through me.
Okay. So basically you want to swamp thing out. You're going to get as close as you can here and then swamp thing out and run down the hallway.
You can go to support Artemis, definitely. So
yeah, basically I want to provide cover. I can be a meat shield.
And engage with the doors that are open while you do that, so that it won't matter. We'll all be simultaneously doing our thing.
Yeah. Okay. So Artemis or Clara, do you want to boost anything? And Know It, go ahead and make your state shift roll at +2.
I want to boost fighting. I think if we were to shoot anything off, it would bring everybody running. So it's just
boost fighting.
It's going to be hand to hand.
Boost fighting. Give yourself a boost trait roll at +2 then.
Okay.
So to do the +2, am I hitting the trait roll +2 to do the
Yes.
roll?
Oh. Oops. Did I do that right?
You did, yes. Oh, okay. So you state shift in a big bad way. You're extremely scary looking, and
Holy.
you did not have the +2 in there, so your fighting goes up 2 dice. So you now have a D12 fighting.
Nice. How do I change? Okay.
Done.
Got it.
All right, so you guys are prepped, and that is where we're going to leave it for tonight. Next week, you guys throw down with the
Okay.
Hellfire.
Gods.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy Monster Cast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters' logos and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Background music is Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Oh, for sure.